time, weather, and...
Hello and welcome to Driving with Todd. And I'm Todd. Hello everyone. I've been watching a channel on YouTube called Yesterday's Papers, which is also the title of a Rolling Stones song, right? Yeah. Well, this channel does shows about the UK pop scene in the 1960s. It's really excellent stuff. One of the series that I'm really enjoying is called Cool Singles. They take a month, they start in 1965 and go through 1968, and they take a month and cover the singles that were released that month. Well, they covered a song called Hold On. And when they played it, it was like, I've heard this song before. I know I've heard this song, but not this version. Well, this version was done by an artist that goes by the name of Sharon Tandy. So I had to know more about Sharon. I'd never heard of her before. I'd never heard this version of the song. And it turns out Sharon Tandy is from South Africa, and she moved to the UK in 1964. She was one of the few white female artists to ever record for Stax Records. She met a gentleman by the name of Frank Fenter, who was the head of UK's Atlantic Records. And Frank signed Sandy to the Atlantic Records label. She recorded quite a number of singles for Atlantic Records, and this particular song happened to be the B-side of a single released in 1967 called Stay With Me. It was reissued in 1968 as an A-side. Unfortunately, it didn't chart. What's interesting is the backup band for this single is, and I'm gonna butcher this name, and I actually have an album by them called Les Fleur De Lys. I know I butchered that. Les Fleur De Lys, who also wrote the song and had released it prior to Sandy's version. And I thought, okay, that's really cool. Now, who is it that did the version I remember? So I had to look it up. It was Bette Bright. It's like, how could I forget that? I loved Bette Bright. Now, Bette Bright recorded the song in 1981 for her one and only solo album called Rhythm Breaks the Ice. It's a great album. If you've never heard this album, you got to look it up. It's fantastic. Now, Bette Bright was with a group earlier on called Def School, and that's where I first heard her because I bought a couple of Def School albums, and they're fun albums. They're really good albums, and she is fantastic on those albums. She broke away from Def School and went into a solo career, and then did this one solo album. Well, what's interesting is she also met Suggs from Madness, and the two fell in love. They got married, and they're still married today. So that's kind of a little bit of a tidbit on Bette Bright's personal life, let's say. So I thought it'd be fun to compare the two versions because they're both so different. But as soon as I heard the lyrics to the Sharon Tandy version, I was like, I know that song. And what it was Bette Bright. So here we're going to start out with Sharon Tandy's version of Hold On, and then move into Bette Bright's version.
Do you
Okay, so it's kind of a heavy song. I mean, that rhythm continues through the whole song. It's got that same beat going through the whole song. Guitars are pretty loud. The drumming, the bass is wild, and she's got kind of a softer voice for this style of music. That's why when I first heard it, it was like, okay, her voice should be mixed up a little bit more in the mix. Number one, number two, she's got more of a soulful voice, soulful sound. Where this is kind of a rock and roll song, so it's kind of like they're battling each other. But I really like it because I like I said, I had heard the song before. I knew the lyrics because I had listened to the Bette Bright version over and over and over, and it was just cool to hear kind of a rock and roll version of the song. And I do like it a lot. I just wish they would mix her voice up a little bit uh, over the music, because the music is kind of drowning her out. It's just so heavy. So let's keep on going.
It's easy to face the music if you know the style. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Okay, I bet you didn't expect that. I bet you didn't expect that. What a wild guitar solo in this song. Like I said, the music is so different than Sharon Tandy singing and the lyrics that go along with it. I just think are just opposed, but it works and it's fun. But that guitar solo, that instrument break was totally wild. And 1967, when they did record this, Britain was into a hot psychedelic scene. I mean, they did more psychedelic music over in the UK than we did here in the United States, and that's what's cool about that era. Is all the psychedelic music, and this was, like I said, it's like a combination of mod and psychedelic music with a little bit of soul put in there just to add another genre. Very cool. Let's keep on going. Okay, very cool. Very cool. There's another note there, but I don't want to. Okay, there we go. We got that extra note in there. I didn't want to go too far without ending the video here, but cool song. I think it's great. And like I said, when I first heard it on the show itself on the YouTube show from yesterday's paper, they only played a little section of it. They only played her singing, and so when I went back to listen to it for the first time, because I wanted to use it for a Driving with Todd episode, but I wanted to hear it too. So I got to that guitar solo. I was like, what? What? I mean, this is heavy. That bass line in there is fantastic. Got some good wild drumming great guitar work. And then when they go into the instrumental break and they go into that guitar solo, it was like, wow, I was not expecting that at all. Not expecting that at all. Because I thought, okay, if you do a guitar solo and instrument break, it's going to be something kind of nice and sweet to go kind of along with the song. But it was like total bizarre. I mean, total psychedelic. Just great. And I thought the video featured that guitar solo really well, too, with all the different things going on in the video. I thought that was pretty neat. So great song. I really like that song. I also listened to its past A side, which was "Stay with Me," which is also a really good song. She had a really nice soulful voice. They compared her a lot to like Julie Driscoll. If you've ever listened to Julie Driscoll, I've got some things by her in the Brian Auger Express. So I thought this was really good, and it's somebody who I'd like to listen to more of. So what I want to do is move on to Bette Bright now and show you how Bette Bright interpreted this song.
You say you love me, you don't know why. I can see you care by the look in your eye. Do yourself a favor, count me in, 'cause there's not much point, plus it's easy to win. I can help you hold on, everything you do's wrong, 'cause it's easy to face the music, you know the song. In your leather, baby, see forever, sleepy people all together. Mist in your eye, you don't see too well, 'cause the world has got you under its spell. I can help you hold on, everything you do's wrong, 'cause it's easy to face the music, you know the song. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Okay, stop it right there. A little bit different. This is a little bit different. This is definitely in the new wave scene of the UK. Their new wave scene was awesome. They had so many great bands, and she just really worked well with this. Now, what I understand is Clive Langer and the Boxes were her backup band on this particular song, and great bass line. If you listen to that bass line in the beginning, that was great. Some good synthesizer work. The drumming is just right on. I mean, it's just hitting those drums just perfect. So she has a great backup band on this song. The other thing too that I think they did right on this version of Hold On is they mixed her voice up, and she's got a great voice. Bette Bright has a really, really fantastic voice, which is really sad. After she married Suggs from Madness, she retired, and that was in 1984. And I was always hoping for a second album, and one didn't ever come out. This was her only album. And like I said, I bought the copy. I had to buy an import copy. It was on Corova Records, and I actually collected that label as an import, because this wasn't released in the United States, which, again, I don't understand, because it's just a fantastic album. And I would play it over and over and over. And that's why I knew this song. It was like, I know that song. But so far, great. So far, great. I love the backup band. I love the bass guitar in this thing. It's just pure new wave pop from the early 80s.
Hold on, hold on, hold I can help you hold on, everything you do is wrong, 'cause it's easy to face
Okay. Great song. Great song. I like both versions, but this one here, I really, really still is my favorite. I love the way they used the keyboards in here, the synthesizers, how they mixed her voice as almost an instrument at the end here as part of that instrumental break. There was a section where there was a short instrumental break between verses with the guitar, and then they had that nice feedback on the guitar. There was just so many cool things going on with the instruments in this song, and then how they used Bette Bright's voice as well throughout the song. I thought she did a great job singing it, and then when they were taking the song out, how they mixed her voice in with the keyboards to give it another, like almost an instrument effect on on her voice. I just thought that was really kind of cool. Great song though. I really love both versions. I think they're both excellent. The only take back that I have on the Sharon Tandy version is I wish they would have mixed her voice up a little bit, because there was that instrumentation was really hard and heavy in that one. Where this one, the instrumentation was a little bit lighter. It was softer. The bass guitar was really driving nicely. They used the guitars and the lead guitars and the synthesizers nicely, where they didn't drown out Bette Bright's voice, and she was mixed up in the mix so that you could hear her voice, and she has a really cool voice. I think she has a very nice voice. So here's the two versions of Hold On. I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked it and you had fun listening to it, hit that like button. I'd really appreciate that. If you have any comments about Sharon Tandy or Bette Bright doing the song Hold On, put in the comments below. That'd also be really appreciated. I'm going to take a link to both videos and put them into my description below. So if you want to hear the song again, watch the video, hit the link, they'll open up and they'll play for you, and I won't be stopping them this time. I'm also going to put a link to the channels that uploaded these videos into YouTube into my description below. If you want to check out those channels, see if they have anything else you want to see, click on the link. It'll take you to their channel. Now, have you subscribed to Driving with Todd? If you haven't, why don't you do it right now? Go below my video, I know you still have it open, and hit that subscribe button, and you'll be making me very happy. If you go over here and ring the bell, you'll get updates to my latest videos. I just thought it would be kind of fun to compare what wasn't really the original version of Hold On. It was the second version of Hold On that was done by Sharon Tandy, to the I think it was like the fifth version of Hold On by Bette Bright that she did in 1981. I just thought it'd be kind of cool to do that. It put a big smile on my face. I hope it put a big smile on your face. And peace out, baby.